I used to sit in my papa's lap and watch movies all the time. And that's probably why I like movies so much, because he used to like rent all the movies, and they had 2 VCRs set up, so he would like tape them. So they had like this whole library full of movies in their house that we could watch. And one of the movies that I remember watching a lot when I was a kid was The Goonies. It was like literally my favorite movie for years when I was growing up. And then but there would be all kind of movies. It wasn't just that. Like, I mean, I watch kids movies too, but like my granddaddy, or my papa, he liked to watch scary movies, and I'd be like 2, 3 years old, maybe younger. I don't know really how old I was, but like I'd be sitting in his lap, and like as long as I was in his lap, I wasn't scared, and I enjoyed like I was probably scared. I knew nothing bad was going to happen because it was on TV and I was in my papa's lap, and like I believe that nothing could ever happen to me while I was in papa's lap. So I would just watch them with him, and I remember watching movies like that and funny movies, man. Chevy Chase movies. Oh, Papa loved a good Chevy Chase movie, and Bill Murray movies, and John Candy might have been. John Candy and Steve Martin. Steve Martin was one of Papa's favorites. And like, I grew up on these movies, you know, The Great Outdoors and friggin' The Jerk and Canadian Bacon and Uncle Buck. And then as I got older, you know, like then they started making movies for my age group. You know, John Hughes and his group, Chris Columbus, made Home Alone. And so because I liked movies when I was little, watching them with my papa, I started watching them, you know, on my own. I started watching Home Alone, and Macaulay Culkin was a big deal. And then I remember, like, obviously, you know, Ninja Turtles movies and stuff like that. I loved Beetlejuice when I was a kid too. Beetlejuice was the best. So like, I didn't know who Tim Burton was back then, obviously. I think the first time I ever heard Tim Burton's name was whenever Nightmare Before Christmas came out. You heard that all over the ads and stuff, but before that I didn't know who Tim Burton was. But I did want to see Edward Scissorhands, and some jerk that my dad was a pastor, and like some jerk that went to church with us was like, it's not a kid's movie, I wouldn't let my kids watch it. And he's probably right, but like, consider the things that I had watched in my life, I really don't think that I should not have watched. I think I should have seen that one. Because friggin' Edward Scissorhands is one of my favorite movies to this day, and Tim Burton has been one of my favorite directors throughout, you know, the years. But yeah, I just love to watch movies, and a lot of times, you know, like today, like I always want to find that movie that makes you feel that magical feeling inside, like the first time you watched The Never-Ending Story, or, you know, the first time that you watched a, you know, just a really great movie that made you feel something, like The Sandlot for the first time, or The Mighty Ducks, or, you know, what's something that's really deep that just, I can't even think of a more serious one, but there's so many out there that just really get you going and make you feel something. Like Cold Mountain was a really good movie. In one of my podcast episodes, there's a little joke about Nicole Kidman and Cold Mountain. But I mean, aside from that silly statement, like Cold Mountain was a really good, like, heartfelt movie. It's long, but it's good. And then there's just so many. I don't know why I brought up Cold Mountain. It's not the greatest movie ever either, but it was a good story. It was I like the Appalachian Mountains, and it happened to be based in the Appalachian Mountains. And so like, and I also liked Civil War growing up. So I was a history kid. Loved to learn about World War II, the Civil War, like just the fact that it happened where I lived and grew up. Like you could go to places where they fought, and there were forts, and like it was just fascinating, and just the idea that people lived without electricity and stuff, you know. Like, I like a lot of older period piece movies. Oh, Gladiator, that's a cool one. I just recently got that on 4K, and started watching it, but then like my Xbox started kind of freaking out on me and glitching, and then so I learned that you have to empty some kind of like cache on there or something, so that, because it stores some of the movie or something, so that it will play clearly. I don't know how it works. I'm getting older and I don't know all about technology anymore. I don't care as long as it works. I want to learn how to use new technology, but like whatever, dude, as long as it works. But yeah, like, I don't know. I would like to watch a really great movie that I haven't seen before. I've seen so many of them, but if you happen to find this and you watched it this far, like, suggest a movie for me, because I'll watch it. I might give it a review on it. Who knows? But yeah, I'm Milty, and thanks for listening.